Guys, it's Jonathan Luke here. I've been wanting to post this video for a while. Going to take some food up to the food plot. We have corn on the cob. It's all dried out, real nice. Squirrel and deer absolutely love it. In the meantime, we're going to be retrieving our trail cam SD card, so we'll be able to add some photos on here of what we found on the trail cam. Now, this is January in Kentucky, so it's pretty cold outside. I think it's around 30-degree mark right now. So snow's kind of melting off, things like that. But I'm going to kind of walk you through some of the things that I did in order to have some good feedback from these deer. Previously, I put out a product called Buck Grub, and I put out deer cane as well. And almost every single day, despite a few here and there has been some type of deer activity, and there has been some type of animal life. I've even had bear come to it, possum, squirrel, no turkey, surprisingly. We have a pretty heavy pine thicket. I thought there might have been some turkey come through, but there hasn't been yet, so I expect it eventually. But I'm going to go ahead and get my stuff on, get ready, and I'll be right back with you in just shortly. Alright, so we're about to head outside. I got all dressed up, got my pants on, warm and everything, so this is what we're using here. You can see it's just normal corn on the cob. And right on the front photo, if I can get it out of the light, you see two little bitty squirrels there. Squirrels are absolutely big fans. What most people do, they tend to nail a couple nails in trees and they stick the corn cob on the nail. I'm probably going to do that as a test run just to see if we can get some pretty cool pictures of deer trying to tear it off and things like that. So we're going to go on out and we're going to survey the plot, see what we can get. Alright, so we're on our way back here. I wanted to let you all know, I think it's pretty funny. Every time my dog sees me in camouflage, she gets all pumped up and jumping all over the porch. I think she can honestly identify when I'm coming to the plot out here. So we've had some pretty good results though. Typically at least 3 deer on the spot at one time. I'll video pieces of it, that way y'all can see. Now, if you know anything about Kentucky, it is nothing but a mountainside, so I'm going to climb this mountain and I'll be right back. Alright, so we're up here. This is, as you can tell behind me, there's nothing but mountain. And so from the basic start now, basically what I did, I started out with just bare dirt. I took my boot and I kicked out roughly a 4-foot diameter circle, roughly. And I kicked the ground and tore it all up. Reason being, deer, whenever it's harsh weather like this, they like to feed off minerals. Reason being, why deer cane's so important, different things like that, they feed off these minerals because harsh environment like this, their body is working twice as hard to stay warm. They got to dig for food to find it, things like that. So there's a lot more calories consumed. So whenever you tear up the ground, it also goes down into the ground a little bit longer, and they're able to have a continuous revolving door. They're able to come in and feed whenever they're able. So this is it really. So really all that is right now, there's probably some pre-existing deer cane on there. I'll probably be replenishing it here in the next couple of weeks. They say to try to do it every 30 days. But I have a consistent feed, so whenever it starts to slow down a little bit, that's when I'll add to it. But right now it's just cracked corn. I think 50 pounds of it right now is going for, I think it's $5.90 something cents. It ain't very much. So this is probably 20 pounds still laying on the ground, and it's been out here a couple weeks. We had a couple of days where the snow was on the ground, didn't have very good deer activity, but I thought it would have been very high because of the cold weather, but it didn't turn out that way. But so this is my camera right here. I got a stealth cam. It is been very reliable. It's got different settings in it. I'll take you through the settings. A couple of them are quick settings. Just open it up like so. There's a custom, there's a quick set 1, 2, and 3. And then there's the testing option. I do the custom because I like to set it a certain way. I like to have a 5-minute wait time between pictures, because there's a few bucks that came around and they don't like to stay around very long. And if they only stay around 10 minutes, you get about 5 or 6 photos of them. So I definitely want to keep it firing. That way I got plenty of pictures of this thing. So, and right on the bottom, you can tell it ejects. Just pops right out of the bottom, just like a typical camera. Just gonna slide that out. I'm gonna put my replacement back in it, so I can disturb this area as less as possible. And that is in my pocket as soon as I find it. Alright, now this right here is dropping in the snow. Did not mean for that to happen. Now this right here is a 2 gig card, and 2 gigs still goes a very long ways. If you're taking photos, I think it's like thousands of photos. So I'm gonna slip that back up in there. I'm gonna turn it back to custom, make sure all my adjustments are still the way I need them to be. And it is giving me a delay. So I'm going to go through. Just going to hit the arrow. Go through, make sure the date's correct. It is. I mean, unless you pop the batteries out, most of the time it's pretty accurate. It's almost 4 o'clock p.m. That's correct too. Mode, you have 2 modes. You have photos, you have videos. I'm doing photos. High resolution, always got to have that. I like good pictures. Have a burst option. I do 3-pic bursts. Then video length of time. And this resets the whole camera. You don't want to do that. Then delete SD. I have some photos I want to keep on there, so I'm not going to do that. And I'm just going to quit. And I'm going to close it back. My other SD card is in my pocket. So most of the time I'm pretty skeptical about different things. You know, they say all deer cane is just this amazing stuff, but I tell you, the ground is pretty tore up, and this is a rocky environment, so it's definitely held its weight in gold. But I got my corn. I actually see a cob here. I'll turn to it. You can tell it's stripped to the bone. So I actually brought some nails with me. I'm going to put some in the trees. I cannot wait to see how this turns out, because I've got a little baby tree right in front of my camera, and I'm pretty sure that the deer are going to try to gnaw it off. I'm going to have some great 3-foot away photos from my camera. It's going to be awesome. So hopefully I'll be looking forward to posting those later. Alright, so I just got them nailed to the tree, and I think it turned out pretty good myself. I got a couple laying on the ground. There's the one on the tree. Little bitty baby tree in front of my camera. And then this is kind of like a stair step. Probably going to get a lot of squirrel on this, but it's going to be fun. And I got them hanging off the side of the tree here. And I got them with a big fat tip on the nail, so it's going to be really hard for them to pull it off. So hopefully that'll turn out good. But I'm just going to turn towards the ground here. Now, at one point, this was completely slick fly ground, and they have absolutely stomped this stuff to death. I have about 4 trails, maybe even 5 trails, leading to this destination where they came from different points of the mountain up here. And I'll try to do things to keep them in the area, which with the way it's laid out, you really don't have to work too hard on it. Such as, for example, this right here is a kiwik. You dip urine in it. And I've got about 4 of them spread out over the area. I try to keep them pretty fresh often, so it always appears that there is a deer in the area, which keeps them around. And I'd say in the spring, I'm going to start making mock scrapes. I'm going to go and take my boot, dig out a spot. Of course, here's the trick. You always want to spray your boots with scent killer on the bottom, because they can smell your footsteps. So whenever you're making a mock scrape, you don't want to make a scrape of your own scent. You want to make a mock scrape of a fake buck in the area, in other words. So you'll scrape it with scent killer on the bottom of your boots, and then you'll put whatever's on the market from Walmart, Dick's Sporting Goods, Cabela's, your Bass Pro Shop, so on. You'll put it on the mark of where you scraped. So maybe that'll work in good timing. But I want to post some more videos here soon. This right here is pretty fun. I hope you all enjoy it. Like, subscribe. There's gonna be plenty more where it came from. But this is just the basic idea of what a food plot is. You know, put your game cam out and see what's out there. There's all kinds of animals. And you'll learn their routine too. You learn if they're moving in the morning, evening, you know. So far I've caught 2 pretty good bucks on here, and actually standing right where I'm standing, and you can kind of, if you stand in front of your camera, you can kind of have an idea how tall their wrecks are and things like that. And standing where I'm standing, this buck I'm after, he's about 10 point. I'd say maybe scores 140, 150, you know, decent sized buck. He's been coming through. I've only had a few photos of him though, so. But it ought to be fun. But thank you all for watching. And I'm going to be uploading this in just a little bit for y'all's pleasure. I'm going to try to continue this. Hopefully some successful hunting videos. I had a squirrel hunt the other day. I wasn't able to film it. Battery life on the phone just doesn't do too good in the cold. But hopefully we'll get some new gear here recently, and we'll put it out there. So thank you all. You all have a great evening, good morning, wherever you're at. And I'm going to be putting some new stuff up. So we'll talk to you soon. Thank you all very much.